Hello everyone, and welcome to GameMate. Today we're going to be looking at the newest buff type special folklore available in Alice Fiction. Eurystheus is based on the Greek king of Mycenae in Tiryns, and is infamous as the one who set Hercules on his 12 labors. In the world of Alice, Eurystheus has manifested into a stellar buff character that specializes in water resistance. She is very useful in various situations that involve water type enemies. And by the king's absolute order, let us now present to you Her Majesty's skills. Eurystheus' crash skill, Adamant Isolation, is a special skill that does a high amount of damage on an enemy with low HP. This is especially effective at its max level since the damage output is massive. It is also worth noting that this is effective to use at the Mysterious Greek box event. Utilizing a properly raised Eurystheus would give you a definite advantage when taking on the event quests, since more water opponents are present, especially Ladon, the boss. Her first active skill, Invoking a King's Power, gives a Water Slayer buff to herself and a selected ally for 2 turns. Her second active skill is Escapism of a Leader, and it reduces water damage to 4 allies for 2 turns. And Tyrant of Mycenae functions as her passive, which gives Water Slayer to a maximum of 4 allies as long as there is a minimum of 2 Earth allies present in the field. All of Eurystheus' skills other than the crash skill have high water resistance effect. Her true might is mostly brought about in the presence of water adversaries, so it's always a good idea to know your enemies beforehand. Despite all her strengths, Eurystheus is of no exception to having her fair share of drawbacks. Being a buff-type special character, Eurystheus does not do well in dealing physical damage. Although her crash skill does a high amount of damage to a single enemy with low HP, it is mostly effective against water-type enemies at best. As she specializes on water types, Eurystheus needs to be complemented with another Earth-type damage dealer to maximize the buffs she has. Given that her passive skill does require having 2 or more Earth allies, using Eurystheus will limit your choices when it comes to party composition. She is also an Earth attribute character, meaning she's vulnerable against Wood-type enemies. And with her party composition requirements, your whole team is very likely to be vulnerable against these opponents as well. All this makes Eurystheus a limited character that you can always bring into your party, unless you're sure to be going up against water units. And speaking of party composition, let's discuss which folklore complement Eurystheus' abilities. Eurystheus will often give Water Slayer buffs. With this, it will be best to put her with Earth attribute damage dealers like Lancelot and Cleopatra. Additional damage will be given if you have them both in your party since her passive skill, Tyrant of Mycenae, will activate. Eurystheus' second active skill, Escapism of a Leader, provides water damage reduction, which will be especially useful if you have a fire attribute ally in your party. But do make sure your fire attribute can provide a good amount of damage on its own. Since Eurystheus doesn't really provide good damage buffs on anyone other than Earth types, you can consider Musashi or Surtur to fill this role. But if you don't have 3-star folklores, Achilles is a decent substitution. Now let's move on to which world memories are best to equip with Eurystheus. Considering Eurystheus is a buff and support character, we leaned onto world memories that will improve her buffs or those that will let her stay alive throughout the battle. One of the newest world memories available, the King's Dilemma, is a perfect choice if you want to focus on dealing damage against water-type enemies. This world memory boosts her special attack and gives additional Water Slayer damage. Undiscovered Grimoire, on the other hand, will boost your special defense. And for each ally's regular panel broken, it will boost your Eurystheus' special attack, making it a good balance between dealing more special damage and building up her defense. After your Musings focuses more on boosting your special defense. Moreover, between the start of the battle and the second turn, it provides more boosts to your special attack. And lastly, Second Miracle will boost your special attack and increase your attack bind resistance, protecting your Eurystheus from being frozen and making her able to give buffs throughout the battle. And that's about it for one of the newest folklores you can pull in the featured gacha. Eurystheus is a great buff character specializing in anti-water attributes that also give high water damage herself. Don't miss out on her and pull with all you've got in the limited banner. If you need more information about Alice Fiction's characters and its gameplay elements, check out our other videos on the game. And for more in-depth information, feel free to check out the GameMate website linked below. Good luck, and we'll see you next time!